Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 25 July 2024, a Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Coming to you this evening from Seven Mountains Campground, Spring Mill, Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's Thursday night. Even if I am on a bike trip, it's time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the thick of it, and there's a lot of thickness, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First off, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post those on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description at the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first one is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. So especially if you are a new viewer or sale participant, you're going to want to watch that. It explains in great detail how we do things and why every Thursday. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. That one may be of interest to you if you're interested in participating in this weekly event from a seller's perspective. It explains how the consignment the consignment process works. So if you want to sell some knives and you want me to do it, give that a look. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. Speaking of my sharpening service, there will be no next day sharpening for this week's sale because I will be on a motorcycle on Friday in Pennsylvania. So, sharpened knives will ship in 2 to 3 weeks after purchase. The as shown knives will ship next Tuesday. What is that, the 30th, I think? Okay. Now, below the 3 links and the terms of the sale, you're going to see the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In the pricing column, you will generally see 2 prices. The one to the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video. Price on the right as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. If you see the word sold in lieu of a price for any given item, that thing has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send any inquiries or I'll take it messages for anything marked sold, all caps, exclamation point. I think that's it for the preliminaries. Let's get the terms up on the screen and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First, let's clean up some leftovers from last week. We're going to start it off with a couple Emersons. Here's the first one. This is a CQC 17 SF. Kind of a cool little Emerson. Just 4 1/4 inches closed length. Black G10. Standard Emerson construction. We do have open construction, not a backspacer. Right-hand Parkerized tip-up clip. The blade opens via thumb disc only. Kind of a cleaver-shaped affair in 154 cm. Blade length 3 1/8. It does ride on Nylotron washers, has a titanium liner lock. Rock solid lockup. Little to zero stick. I mean, very close to zero. Normal Emerson action. Look at that centering, guys. Bang on, I believe. We're going to call this near mint in box. Currently available online for $249 web retail. We ran this last week at $185, didn't sell, dropped it to $165 for the weekend. Still here. Let's go $150 like it is, $175 with an TheApostleP edge on the CQC 17 SF from Emerson. Pretty good buy right there, fellas. Next up, speaking of pretty good buys, maybe better than pretty good, our second Emerson tonight is the Persian SF, otherwise known as the P-Tac. A largish knife, Persian in profile, black Emerson G10. That's sort of new style. I love this clip. Parkerized Emerson style Emerson clip with the maker's mark stamped aggressively into that clip. Normal Emerson black G10. Titanium liner lock, titanium on the left, steel on the right. The blade, 154 cm. Look at that stunner. Saber ground primary bevels, chisel ground edge as usual. Thumb disc deployment. Tiny little bit of lets you know it's there Emerson stick. No issue whatsoever. Normal Emerson action. Way better than normal centering, like perfect. Lock up, rock solid. Blade length is 4 inches on the P-Tac, 5 inches a handle. Very, very nice in the hand. Near mint in box, out of stock. In stonewash, like this one, they have Thunderstorm in stock for $305. This would have been $295 new, web retail. We ran it last week at $195, didn't sell, dropped it to $180 for the weekend. Let's go $170 this week, like it is, $195 with an ApostleP edge, the Emerson P-Tac SF. Next up, it is Microtech time, boys. First one, Combat Troodon double edge red, model 142-1RD for red. Here you go. Speaking of red, lots of it. 5 11/16 inches a handle. Red hard anodized aircraft aluminum, black hardware, black clip. Ball bearing glass breaker on the clip nut. I'm going to say this is a firm button, but not the firmest Combat Troodon I've ever operated. Two-tone blade in M390. Double-edged plain edge. Reliability is 100%. Serial number is 27946, born May of 2020. We got a little tiny bit of handle wear on this one. Where is it? Right there. So I'm going to call it near mint in box. In stock right now at PVK for $550. Would you like to save a little? We ran this at $425 last week, didn't sell. Dropped it to $395 for the weekend. Still here. Let's go $365 this week. No need to sharpen. The red Combat Troodon from Microtech. Next up. Do not adjust your set. You are not seeing double, and there's not a color issue. Because this Combat Troodon is a Tanto edge in Merl. Model number 144-1MR. Kind of my favorite blade on a Combat Troodon. There's the Merlot handle. Serial number is 30387, born 10 of 2020. Firm button. Two-tone Tanto blade, perforated fuller. There's very, very slight handle wear on this one as well. There's a little nick right by my fingertip on the corner. But 3 3/4 inches of blade, 5 11/16 inches a handle. We'll call it near mint in box. Let's see. These would have been $550 web retail when they were in stock. They no longer are. Arizona Custom Knives sold one recently, a used one for $450. We ran this one last week at $425, no takers. Went to $395 for the weekend. It's still here. Let's go $365 on this one, like it is. $400 with my edge. Microtech Combat Troodon Tanto Merlot. Next up, our first watch tonight from Seiko. It is the SARB035. Automatic, everyday sports watch. And here it is. What you got here is a 38.5 millimeter case, 45 millimeter lug to lug length, about 11.5 thick, 28 millimeter lug width. On the factory bracelet, pin and collar oyster style, stamped outer, milled inner, just 2 micro adjusts. The movement within, as Teddy likes to say, is the venerable 6R15 automatic movement. This is run at about -6 seconds per day. It has a very slightly pearlescent cream dial. Gorgeous Dauphine hands, full of lume, little lume plops at each one of those applied markers. Date at 3 with a nice frame. The needle seconds hand, look at the eye of the needle counterweight, very beautiful. Very, very little wear on this watch. Some tiny hairlines in the bright polished areas. Very little dust rash. So totally near matte. Discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay between $511 and $630. We ran this last week at $450. Got no takers. Dropped it to $420 for the weekend. Still here. Your price this week, $395, guys. That is a steal on an absolutely iconic Seiko. The SARB 035. Beauty. Next up, a leftover from last week we're calling watch strap combo number 1. In this combo, you get 3 20mm straps. First one is a Colareb distressed leather affair with cream stitching, 20mm. Looks like it's never been installed on a watch. Does not have spring bars, okay, not quick release either. Second, you're going to get kind of a standard fare black nylon NATO with ring hardware, and it's sort of polished, okay. And then you're going to get a single pass woven strap with kind of a spalted gray. This has brushed hardware, also 20mm. So all 3 of those we ran last week for $50, and I gotta believe that Colareb strap was $50 brand new. No takers. Dropped it to $40 for the weekend. Still here. Somebody gets to buy this week for $30, guys. $30 like it is. No need to sharpen. Watch combo. Watch strap combo number 1. Next up, yeah, if there was a combo number 1, there must be a number 2. So this one has 4, count them, 4 20mm straps. The first one, the star of the show, is from Hirsch. It's a grained black leather, very slightly padded. It's the Hirsch Highland in 20mm. Made in Austria. All polished hardware. You got the sign buckle. That's probably a $40 or $50 strap, guys. Then you're going to get a seatbelt fabric bond NATO with brushed hardware, 20mm, black and gray bond. Very nice, very nice. Talk amongst yourselves while I try to snake this back down in. Next, you have a gray NATO, standard fabric, brushed hardware, 20mm. Get back down in there. I should have done this more elegantly, but I didn't. And then the last one, and this is kind of a cool strap. It is a canvas leather hybrid single pass strap. So I don't know if that's an OD or a natural canvas. I think it's an OD. From whoever that is, I should know that, but I don't. 20mm, black leather, OD canvas, polished buckle. So we ran all those last week for $60 for 4 straps. What is that? $15 a piece, including a Hirsch that's probably $50. No takers. Dropped it to $50 for the weekend. Still here. You get them this week, $40 for all 4, guys. $40 for all 4 straps. That is watch strap combo number 2. Next up, in our last leftover from last week, and this just breaks my heart, fellas, I got to tell you, from Spyderco, is perhaps the most sought after paramilitary 2 in the world. I don't know. What does that say? CFM4, I think it does. Yep, peeled ply carbon fiber. You got a 4 13/16 handle. You got bright hardware, a polished clip, grippy peel ply carbon fiber. The blade, 3.5 inches of CPM M4. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action is very nearly totally free dropping. Centering will be down the middle. It is like new in box. It was a sprint run. Long discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $325 and $499, and we couldn't sell it for $295. We even dropped it to $275, and it's still here. It's insanity. This week, $260, like it is, $290 with my edge. Spyderco Paramilitary 2 CF and M4. Next up, boys, we got a pair from How About the Truth? I bet you they're from Great Eastern Cutlery. Here's the first one. Anybody recognize that tube? I do. Inside it resides it's just a model 381315 in Gabon Ebony. I don't know who would want that. What does that mean? It means it is a Tidioute Grinling Whittler in Gabon Ebony, one of only 96 pieces. Patty's Potato Peeler's etch. Knife is flawless, says Steve. No blade rub. The majority of the TIW era satin blades don't rub. Why? Because they were all touched up with the old double header machine after grinding, meaning if they got any blade rub while working the knife together, they went in and fixed it. All blades slated for satin. Visit the double header a second time to apply the satin finish. Polished blades go to the polishing table, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and the satin blades are slightly thinner than the polished blades. You want to see the knife? Here you go. Closed length 3 7/8. True split back Whittler with the wedge center spacer. Gorgeous Gabon Ebony, hot dog shield, polished bolsters. Main blade is on a cam tang. It's about a 7 pull. There is your PPP. Where is it? Right there. Walks and talks nicely. Get a secondary coping blade on a half stop, as is the other secondary, which is a pen. Everything walks and talks beautifully. Blades are perfectly centered. Look at that. Condition, it will be like new in tube. These are unobtainium. This might be the cheapest one you've seen. $850 is your price. $890 with my edge on all 3 blades. GEC Tidioute number 38 Grinling Whittler. Next up, we have another icon from Great Eastern Cutlery. Special factory order for one Charlie Campagna. Model 771214EC. It's the Washington Jack, first run in Gabon Ebony. One of only 49 pieces, comes with a pen. In my opinion, with its Gabon Ebony, is the most handsome of the run. Knife is 100% flawless. Well, we'll talk about that. There's the tube. There's the lid. There's the label. A great story behind the Washington Jack. It is patterned after the old-timer 2OT. Many of you have heard me tell that story before, but it was a mid-century highline pocket knife. When Schrade released the old-timer line, the 2OT was the first knife for sale. It looked a lot like that. So here's what you got. 77 chassis, right? So 3 11/16 inches of closed length. There's your Gabon ebony cover. There is your polished diamond shield. Bolsters are double lined with a rat tail and a pinch. End caps are chamfered with the unexcelled maker's mark stamped in. Now, Steve says flawless, but I'm going to beg to differ. The early knives of this run had some irregularities in the rat tail, and I think you can see that ever so slightly. And it's got one of the lines that is just a little lightly struck. But most of this run did have these issues, so it's kind of a good identifier for the first run. Main blade is a gorgeous clip with that Washington Jack etch, long pull cut swedge on a half stop. Nice 7 pull. Perfect walk and talk. Pen blade, big and gorgeous. Let's see. Centering on this knife. See if I can show it to you. It's dead. So it'll be like new in tube with button. There are 0 of these sold listings on eBay. There's a current listing for a buy it now at $1,299. Your price on this one, $850 like it is, $880 with an Apostle P edge. And here's your button. Next up, it's time for a couple G-Shocks. Both of these are in the wrong boxes. I'm not sure why, but you're going to get a box with a 10 inside and a booklet. Model number on this one here is the GA 2100 CB-3A. It is from the G Steel collection. You may be able to see it's got a negative display. Can I get you some light? Just down here in this little 5 o'clock register. You have sort of an aqua printing on this dial. It's an Anadigi setup. Stainless steel case shroud. 44 diameter. It's 62 lug to lug, but if you look at this, that's to the end of the plastic lug inserts. It's probably barely 50 if you just measure the case. Then it's got a 2-piece nylon strap that is, I measure it at 21 millimeters. Now this stainless steel has a little bit of a smoky wash on it. I don't know if you can make that out, but it's there. Condition is very near mint to like new, wrong box. These are currently available for $200 on Amazon. Let's see. 20 bars of water resistance. I don't know. You guys have to look up the module. The module number is the 5611. Okay, but they're currently available in stock on Amazon for $200. This one can be yours. Shipped priority mail, $140. No need to sharpen. The G-Shock 2100 GA 2100 CB-3A. Next up, we have another G-Shock in the wrong box. Another one from the G Steel collection. So this has got a non-smoky washed stainless steel case, so it's bright, some polished and some brushed surfaces. This is the GM-110-1A, running the 5553 quartz module, 45 millimeter diameter, 53 lug to lug, 16 millimeter lug width, and that is to where the spring bar enters the case. This resin strap is quick releasable. Also an Anadigi watch with a negative display. 200 meters of water resist. It's also near mint to like new in the wrong box. These are currently available right now for $159 on Amazon. We're going to do this one. Very near mint to like new in the wrong box. $110 shipped priority mail. The G-Shock GM 110-1A G Steel. Next up, I got one from Benchmade. No box, but I do have a blue microfiber pouch. The knife, man, I haven't seen one of these in a while. They seem to have landed where they're staying after they were discontinued. It's the 551-1 Griptilian. It was kind of groundbreaking when they released it. I think it was the first Griptilian that didn't have a Norl GTX handle. Instead, we got a beautiful 3D milled set of gray G10 scales with a nice diamond pattern for grip. Because if it's a Griptilian, it got to have grip. This one is rocking the Parkerized deep carry clip, ambidextrous tip up, blue G10 liners, blue hard anodized aluminum standoffs. Inside, you got a drop point blade and CPM 20 CV, 3 3/8 inches in length, a 4 5/8 handle, axis lock mechanism, phosphor bronze washer pivot. Look at that. Rock solid lockup, zero blade play, super free swinger, and how about that centering? Perfect. Condition, we'll say near mint to like new, no box. Long discontinued and out of stock by now. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $170 and $250. Let's do $150 on this one. $180 if you'd like it with my edge. Benchmade 551-1 Griptilian. Next up, I do have a blue box from Benchmade. Inside it comes a 535 Bugout, the OG Bugout, and it's got those factory scales that are not installed on the knife. Why? Because we're wearing a little Flytanium. Beautifully milled, blue anodized. It is also wearing an MXG deep carry titanium clip. The knife has an ambidextrous clip mount, but these scales do not, so right hand tip up if it's wearing the Flytanium. We also have a rock scale titanium gear pattern backspacer. What? The blade, S30V, 3 1/4 inches of it. The handle, 4 1/4. Rock solid lockup. Nice action. It kind of gets a little tight spot just as it gets to full closed, but barely. Oh, I didn't show you the centering. Pretty daggone close, I'd say, wouldn't you say? About perfect. It's been touched up, as you may have seen. Let's see. I think I can show you a little glint of the edge. Not exactly consistent. Is it sharp? It's pretty sharp. We're going to call it near mint in box. So just the 535 Bugout now has a MAP price or web retail of $162, right? Then you got about $65 for the scales, about $25 for the clip. I don't know how much for the backspacer, so let's figure the guy's got $250, $255 in this knife. We're selling it to you though, $150 like it is, $175 with an Apostle P edge. That's in your inventory as Benchmade 535 Bugout plus Flytanium scales. Next up, sticking with Benchmade, but we're going a little black class here. The knife inside this box is the 290 BK Full Immunity. A knife that I really like. I just don't own one of. What a cutie. So it's got kind of a purple metallic anno set of diamond milled aluminum scales. Wearing a little tether cord lanyard with probably an aluminum anodized bead. Parkerized deep carry shorty tip up clip that is ambidextrous. Axis lock mechanism. Blue standoffs. Blue thumb studs. The blade. A dark gray cerakoted CPM M4. 2.5 blade, kind of a stylized Warncliffe. 3.5 handle. Actually, Benchmade calls these scales Crater Blue. Okay. Lockup, dead rock solid. Not quite a free dropper. It just doesn't seem to want to be. Lockup is perfect. Centering is perfect. Condition, like new in the box. Web retail on these map price from Benchmade, $292. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $210. $240 with my edge on that M4 blade. That is the 290 BK full immunity from Benchmade. Next up, the first save me from myself moment. Tonight, we have a black class Benchmade. It is the 2730 FE-2 Mini Auto Adamas. You know the color palette, right? OD green G10, 3D machined and perforated, sort of. It looks like they blocked off the perforations with the auto version. The clip ambidextrous tip up, deep carry, parkerized with the butterfly. Mechanism auto access with spine safety. You want it out, you just pull back on the access bar. Out pops a flat dark earth Cerakoted blade in CPM crew wear. Blade length is 3 1/4. The handle is 4 1/2. Lock up, solid. It's got a little vertical play until the bar works in. Anyway, it goes away. None there. It's just too new. The centering is a work of art. Condition, like new in the box. Current web retail Benchmade map price for the Mini Auto Adamas is $297. This one can be yours $220 like it is. All in. Shipped priority mail. Or have me sharpen it, just $245. 2730 FE-2 Auto Mini Adamas. Next up, time for a little Spidey party. The first one, made in the United States of America. It's a pair of 3 in CPM crew wear with a set of purple G10 scales. This is a DLT Trading exclusive. Black hardware, DLC blade in CPM crew wear. Just in case you don't know, blade length 2 15/16. Handle 4 1/4. Compression lock. Near free dropping action. Rock solid lockup. And the centering is perfect. We're going to call it like new in box. I don't know why I wrote LNIT like it was in a tube, but it's in a box. These are discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay range between $220 and $265. This can be yours like new in box condition, $200 even. And that is all in, shipped priority mail. Unless you want me to sharpen it, then add $25. So that's $225 sharpened. Spyderco Pair 3 PRP DLC CRU in your inventory. Next up, another Spyderco. This is a Manix 2 XL Black, it says. This will show up in your inventory as Spyderco Manix 2 XL Murdered. There you go. It's the big sister to the Manix 2 with a 5 1/16 handle, black G10, black hardware, black clip, DLC blade in S30V, black ball cage. It is a caged ball lock that swings freely. Locks up rock solid. And the centering would be, I guess, perfect. Be okay, yeah. Gorgeous long leaf-shaped blade. Lots of real estate. Your hand can go about wherever you want it. We're going to call this near mint to like new in box. Currently available for a web retail Spyderco map price of $237. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail, $180 like it is, $205 with an Apostle P edge. Spyderco Manix 2 XL Murdered. Excuse me. Next up, more Spydage. This one from Taichung, Taiwan. It is a Smock, a Spyderco Smock. The factory scales, which are kind of a work of art, I think. It's got that peel ply carbon fiber over G10 laminate, but we're not wearing them because instead we're wearing a set of linen micarta, and it's got some black in it and it's got some OD. I'm not sure what it's going to look like when it gets worn in with oil from your hands, but it'll probably be pretty. So the Smock, a very interesting knife. This one is wearing a titanium deep carry clip, 2-hole variety. I need to turn my page. You'd think I'd learn, wouldn't you? Or maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. So it is a ball bearing flipper, and this protruding right angle is your flipper. Okay. You could also thumb it with the hole. The blade is S30V, 3 3/8 inches in length. The handle is 4.5. It is a button actuated compression lock. Right? You see that? Okay. Oops. Can you open it with a hole? You bet you can. Blade length, I told you, 3 3/8, handle 4.5. Okay, rock solid lockup. Ball bearing action is super free. Centering is super perfect. This blade has had a polished edge, but it's been used. So, I'm not going to tell you it's super sharp. And I am going to offer you a sharpened price. Let me wipe that blade a little bit. There you go. So anyhow, we'll call it near mint in box. Current MAP price or web retail for the Smock is $228. Plus about $50 probably for those scales, wouldn't you think? So let's say he's got $275 in it total. You can have it though, $175 like it is. $200 with my edge. That is the Spyderco Smock plus custom scales. Next, another Spidey, and I think we're back to golden for this one. Whoops, wrong end. Yes, we are. It is a native 5 salt. Very interesting knife. Yellow FRN handle, just like you'd expect. This has the new style native FRN handle, 4-way clip, and this is wearing a DLC coated 3-screw titanium deep carry clip. The blade. This is kind of this is what has breathed new life into the Salt series because they're now in CPM Magna cut. Yeah. Right? So 3 inches of blade, 4 inches of handle, mid-lock mechanism. Drops pretty freely on the bushing pivot. Rock solid lockup. Centering is like perfect. Condition will be near mint in box. Very, very slight clip wear right there on that edge. So current MAP price for the native 5 salt is $162 web retail plus the clip. So what, $180, $185? You can have this one $110 like it is, or $140 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco native 5 salt in Magna cut. Next up, I think it's our last, no it's not, it's our last Spyderco for now. Made in USA. It is a military red, black 4V. Santa Claus is coming to town. It is the St. Nick's dealer exclusive Spyderco military. Better get one of these because I guarantee you they ain't making any more. Right hand tip down. Black pocket clip, black hardware, DLC coated blade in CPM 4V. That blade is 4 1/16 inches in length. The handle is 5 9/16. It's got a forward choil, or you can come back here. You can grab that handle anywhere you want. It's about 1 foot long. Okay, let's see. Rock solid lockup. Early lock engagement. Let's see if I can show you that a little better. Beautiful. Beautiful. See how the centering looks. It looks awful perfect right now. It has moved around a little bit. I helped it. Let's see there. Discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay range between between 266 and 315. I'm going to cut you some slack, boys. 230 like it is. 260 with an ApostleP edge. That's Spyderco Military Red DLC 4V from St. Nick's. Next up. I have a Chris Reeve warranty box, but it's not a Chris Reeve knife inside. It's a ZT0801 Todd Rexford design. And a very cool knife. I love the aesthetic of this handle. I just love it. Even with the billboard, I still love it. Little wear on the clip, deep carry, ambidextrous tip up. It is a ball bearing flipper. Blade steel is L-Max. Gorgeous stonewashed. Steel inserted titanium frame lock, locks up right there. Lock up is dead rock solid. Ball bearing action is just what you'd expect. Centering is perfect. Blade length 3 9/16, handle 4 11/16. It has been used and touched up, and we're going to call it near mint in box. So these are now discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay ranging between 167 and 252. As you know, I always try to come in lower than the lowest eBay price. So your price for this one, 150 like it is, 180 with an ApostleP edge, the ZT0801. Next up, we have one from HK Knives, Heckler and Koch. I think this one was still when Benchmade was manufacturing them. Nope. It says right there, Hogue. Okay, so the model is the 54046 Mini Incursion out the front automatic. Check this out, boys. Beautiful black hard anodized aluminum handle. Torx assembly screws. Ambidextrous tip down. Yes, that's right, tip down clip. Why? Because the tip is here. A carbide glass breaker clip nut. Spine mounted button. I'm going to say the effort is medium to medium firm and 100% reliable. DLC blade in 154 cm. And it's wearing a polished edge. I think I did this one. I think. But I don't know for sure. I'm just going to say polished edge. Definitely no need to sharpen, right? So near mint in box. Current web retail kind of varies on these. It runs between $230 and $261 depending on where you shop. This beautiful example can be yours for $180, all in priority mail. Definitely no need to sharpen. That's the HK Mini Incursion OTF Automatic. Next up, we have another Chris Reeve service box, but doesn't have a Chris Reeve knife. This one contains an Emerson A100, kind of a classic of classics from Emerson. You got that shimmery black G10. You have the new style, deeply stamped, parkerized Emerson clip, right hand tip up. Kind of just a straight handle. The blade has that new thunderstorm finish from Emerson. Gorgeous swedged spear point, thumb disc deployant. 154 cm is your blade steel. 3 9/16 is your blade length. 4 11 16 is the handle. It is a titanium liner lock, locks up right there. Titanium over here, steel over here. Zero stick on this one. Smooth action. Centering is doggone perfect. Snaps out with authority. Zero blade plate. This Emerson has like the most perfect action I've ever seen on a Nylotron Emerson. It's beautiful. We'll call it near mint, no box or wrong box. It does have a little bit of clip wear right there, just barely, a little bit right on the edge. Kind of hard to tell. Discontinue. Oh, no, never mind. They're out of stock right now. If they were available, they would be $237 web retail, but they're not. Your price on this one, $180 like it is, $205 with my edge. The Emerson A100 TF. Next up, it is not a Chris Reeve, and it's sort of an Emerson, but it's a Protech Emerson CQC7A in blue. So the pattern, the envelope drawing is Emerson CQC7. The construction and mechanism are all Protech, right? So blue hard anodized aluminum handle. I think this clip might have been swapped and I don't have the original because that looks like an MXG. Deep carry 3-hole titanium. It is a side folding button lock automatic. Opens like a Protech. So 154 cm blade. 3 3/16 inches in length. The handle 4 11/16. The lockup, dead rock solid. The centering is dead perfect. And the action is Protech perfect. I'm going to call it near mint in the wrong box. They are discontinued, not a stock when they were available. They were $165 web retail. This one, how about it, boys? $135 like it is. $160 with an ApostleP edge. It's in your inventory as Protech Emerson Auto CQC7A blue. Next up, Microtech time, and it's Chris Reeve box. That copy is correct. It's an Ultratech Spartan with bronze stonewash. It is the 223-13. Black, hard anodized aluminum handle. Everything anodized bronze except the black, right? Spine-mounted deployment button. Double action out the front automatic. It has the Spartan blade shape. The blade steel is M390. Mm-hmm. 3 3/8 blade, 5 1/16 handle to the glass breaker. Serial number is 254651, born 9 of 2022. Button is firm. Reliability is 100%. It's like new in the wrong box. I think I found these in stock somewhere for 348 buckaroonies. This one, 245 like it is. No need to sharpen. The 223-13 Ultratech Spartan. Next up, we got another Microtech. This one has the box. From the Signature Series, we got a UTX 85 Warhound. OD green handle, stonewash standard blade, model 719W-10 ODS. And here she is. Just like an Ultratech, except 85% of its size. Yeah, so 4 7/16 inches closed all the way to the end of the glass breaker. Spine-mounted button for the double action OTF automatic. And there it is, the Warhound blade. Premium stainless steel is all we know when we have a Signature Series Microtech. Probably M390 or 204P. There's your signed clip. Serial number is 329. Born date is 11 of 23. Blade length is 3 1/16, by the way. Button effort medium. 100% reliable. Condition like new in the box. Current web retail for these is $369. This one can be yours at $255 like it is. $280 with my edge on it. That's the Signature Series UTX 85 Warhound from Microtech. Next up, we got the Rob's Pick. Comes in a plastic tube. It's from Three Rivers Manufacturing. It's a Shadow in jet black G10. What a cool knife. 3D machine, sort of fluted black G10. Blasted finish. Titanium deep carry tip-up clip, ambidextrous with fill tab on the offside. Gorgeous pivot, looks like a seashell. The lock mechanism is called the river lock. Nothing at all like a Benchmade axis lock, nothing. The blade, a nice broad, highly flat ground, like way up highly. Blade in 20 CV. The blade length is 3 3/16. The handle 4 9/16. Rock solid lockup. Nice free dropping phosphor bronze washer action. Got a forward choil. Yes. It's very nice, boys. Like new in the tube. Oh, by the way, centering. Perfect. Out of stock at $315 web retail currently. This one can be yours. $260 all in, shipped priority mail. $290 with my edge on the 20 CV blade. That's the Shadow from TRM. It's the Rob's pick tonight. Next up, we have one from Medford Knife and Tool, made in the USA. The knife inside is the Smooth Criminal with a green hard anodized aluminum handle, tumbled finish on the blade, which is made of S45VN. This one was shipped to Blue Ridge Knives originally. Comes with a certificate of creation and authenticity, made July 11th, 2023. Here's the knife. Kind of a forest green. Attractive. Nice lanyard loop, integral to the handle. Right hand tip up pocket clip. It is a ball bearing flipper and a button lock. There's your flipping action. There's your button. Beautiful stone tumble polish finish on that blade. The blade length is 3 inches. The handle is 4. The lockup is rock solid. The action is beautiful. I'm going to call that blade centering very close, but I think it favors the top side slightly. Near mint to like new in box. Current web retail for this knife is $325. We're going to offer this one at $240. Near mint to like new in box. $270 with my edge on the S45 blade. That's the Smooth Criminal from Medford. Next up, I don't know, this might be the best buy of the sale. From Chris Reeve Knives. Large Sabenza 31 inlay, left hand, in Singo, in natural canvas and Magna cut. Here's your birth card. Born March 27th, 2023. And here's the knife. By the way, lanyard and post are intact and in the box. Natural canvas inlays, not a mark in the titanium. It's a little factory stiff, I would say. Not quite a free dropper, but the action is nice. It doesn't feel wonky like some 31s do. Let's see if I can get you a shot of the centering. It's perfect. It's hard to see with an Insingo blade. So you got 3 9/16 inches of blade, 4 13/16 inches of handle, Reeve integral lock with the ceramic ball interface. I'm going to call it like new in box. They are currently in stock. I think I found them at Knife Ship Free. You can buy one just like this, brand new, for $600. Or buy this one, $525 like it is, $560 if you like my edge, and I will tune that action to your liking. for $560. That's the Chris Reeve Large Sebenza 31 in Singo. Lefty with natural canvas and Magna cut. Next up, got a little fixed blade from Giant Mouse. I had trouble figuring this one out. It is a GMF1-FS. So the model is GMF1. That suffix gave me fits because this should be satin in M390. There's your beautifully crafted Italian leather belt pouch. But this has had a custom stonewash, a little acid stonewash. So you can see the Vox Anso maker's mark. And there is an M390 etched somewhere and I can't find it. Who cares? Anyhow, 2 3/8 blade, 2 15/16 handle, modified sheep's foot blade, skeleton handle, near mint, in box. Current web price for this knife is $185, and then plus the stonewash, which probably helps the knife. This one can be yours, $125 like it is, $150 with an Apostle P edge. The Giant Mouse GM F1-FS fixed blade. Next up, here's a knife from a maker I've never handled a product from. Bearing Made Knives, Missoula, Montana, USA. Comes in this pouch. You got a gorgeous fold-over style basket weave leather sheath. I'm not sure who that is. That might be Badger Claw. I don't know. Here's the knife. What a cool blade this is, guys. So this is very much like their trout and bird knife, but this one is a custom fixed blade. Hand-forged 01 steel, 1/8 stock thickness. You still have the hammered flats. Blued steel blade in 01. 3 7/16 blade, 4 3/16 handle. Harpoon clip point. The handle, buffalo horn, blued steel guard. The spacers are black and copper, and the back of the handle is fossilized walrus tusk. So it should be super durable. So comfortable in that. I mean, guys, oh my. Wow. Let's see, what else do we know about this? The gorgeous tooled leather sheath, like new in pouch. I believe my consignor bought this from Arizona Custom Knives, brand new, and paid $545 for it. Handmade in the United States, and a beautiful EDC fixed blade. Let's do $395 like it is, $420 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the Bearing Made custom EDC fixed blade. What a beauty. Next up, oh, long reach. And we're reaching for one from Liang Ma. This might be my favorite Liang Ma pattern because it's kind of a folding puko. We got that bead blasted titanium faceted handle. Sort of a gear pattern titanium backspacer, milled titanium clip. Right hand tip up. Got a titanium frame lock with a steel lock face insert and a ball bearing flipper. Stupendous flipping action. So that puko blade is classic puko, right? So this is not a parallel flat. It's actually got a bevel to it, like a puko would. Blade steel's S35. The blade length is 3 3/8. The handle's 4 3/8. There's your lock engagement. Ball bearings are nice and smooth and free. Flipping action's awesome. Lock up is rock solid. Centering is dead. Condition is near mint in pouch. Very slight clip wear. There are just a couple very light trails going across. I don't know if I can get them on camera. Anywho, these are discontinued and out of stock when they were available. They had a web retail of $375. This one can be yours $225 all in, shipped priority mail like it is. $250 with my edge on that S35 VN blade. It is the Leon Mod Design Warrior 1 version 2. Next up, this will be our last Spyderco tonight. It comes in a fancy pouch, so you're expecting it to be expensive. Well, you'd be wrong. This is the Marcin Swish Design Spyderco Swayback. Gorgeous, kind of acid stonewash titanium scale set. It is a titanium frame lock with a steel insert that you really can't see unless you look straight down on top of it. See right there? Phosphor bronze washers and an opening hole. Probably opens best. Middle finger flicked by a lefty, I don't know. Very high hollow ground Warncliffe blade. CTS XHP is your blade steel right there. Blade length 3 9/16, handle 4.5. Lock up, dead rock solid. Action, smooth. Centering, perfect. Like new in the pouch. So right now, I think they're having a little trouble selling these new because they're kind of on clearance. I found one at $202. I found one at $205. Web retail. This one can be yours. A beautiful example. Like new in pouch. $175 shipped priority mail. $200 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Spyderco Swayback. Next up, we've got one from Fox and Vox, right? Manufactured by Fox, designed by Jesper Voxness. And the model is, read the bottom, the Baby Core. The Baby Core. Interesting name for a knife, I must say. Kind of reminds me of that, shoot, what was that little stubby Spyderco? Help me out. I don't know. But look, just 3 7/16 inches closed. Titanium handles. Ambidextrous tip-up deep carry wire clip. Ball bearing flipper. You're expecting a frame lock, but it's not. Stainless steel liner lock. Locks up beautifully and solidly. Ball bearings are smooth and free. Centering is perfect. Got a nice gear pattern. Bronze anodized backspacer. The blade length is 2 5/16. The handle, as I said, I just cut myself. That is sharp, man. That's really sharp. Wow, I'm going to bleed. Watch. Barely. Anyhow. What'd you call that? A modified spay blade? I don't know. Lock up, rock solid. Everything's beautiful. Like new in the box. They're available new for $257 web retail. We're going to do this one at $180 like it is $210 with an ApostleP edge on that M390 blade. That is the Fox and Vox Baby Core. Next up, I think a knife closely related, also out of Maniago by Viper Technocut. We have the model V5934Ti Kiyomi Vox Flipper with an ApostleP edge. A lot going on there. So we got a beautifully stone-washed set of titanium scales. I've got a clip in blue anodized milled titanium, tip-up ambidextrous. I love the clip mount. The female part of the scale should be very secure. Ball bearing flipper. Whoops. Ooh. fingerprint magnet. The blade, N690 CO, 3 1/16 inches in length, and it's wearing an Apostle P edge. It's sticky sharp, boys. Sticky, sticky. There's your engagement on the steel inserted titanium frame lock. Beautiful. Lockup is rock solid. Ball bearing action smooth, but lots of lock bar tension. I'm calling the centering on this one very close. I think it favors the bottom slightly. Near mint inbox sharpening noted. Great sharpening, by the way. Web retail for this knife, $195 new. Your price on this one, wearing $25 worth of my sharpening, $140 like it is, $165 with an, oh, you don't need to sharpen. I should have put dashes there. $140, no need to sharpen. The Kiyomi Vox flipper with an Apostle P edge from Viper. Next up, we got one we're going to call the Budget Fixed Blade Combo. We're going to start it out. 2 knives, by the way. The first one from Buck. It's the 103 Skinner. So it kind of looks like a 119 or a 120, right? You got your standard Buck black leather sheath, wrap strap, and snap. You got your phenolic handle, aluminum pommel, aluminum guard, gorgeous Skinner blade, 4-inch blade, 4 1/4 handle, phenolic black handle. If you haven't had one of these in your hand, you need to. They're pretty special. It's near mint in box, just maybe some storage wear in the aluminum. These are available brand new for $80 on Amazon, and you're going to get with it a pancake tool leather sheath from Hulara. So you get that, the 103, right? And we're just going to throw in a second knife. This is the Mora Basic. Black sheath, black and green handle, carbon steel blade, 3 1/2 blade, 4 5/8 handle. Kind of a sexy little clip point, I think. They finished their steel so nicely. Scandi ground, super sharp. Hard to believe you can buy these for $12 brand new. But you can't, I think this was an annual color, and I don't know what year it was, but they did like an orange and a crappy green this year. This is gorgeous. Anyhow, so you got 80 plus what? 25 for a sheath is 105 plus 12 is 117. How about we just do $60 for the combo plus 25 each to sharpen? That is the Buck Fixed Blade Combo. Next up, got a knife from a maker I've never seen before. Comes in a nondescript white box. There it is. Malone Knives. And this does come in a badger claw leather sheath that was $100. So Malone does not ship sheaths with their knives. They recommend badger claw, who makes sheaths to fit Malone's knives, for $100. Definitely set up for scout carry. It's the Nesmuk. So you get a dark acid stonewash blade in 01 tool steel, 1/8 stock, polished spine, kind of a low saber grind, not a bad factory edge. Blade length is 5 5/8. The handle's 4 5/8. The wood is Yobio and Venga. I'm not sure which is which. With OD green G10 spacers and liners. Brass pins, a little bit of corrosion on the brass. In the hand, oh my. Oh my, nice. So let's see. It is like new in the box. The knife from Malone would have been $275. The sheath was $100. That's $375 this seller has invested here. We're going to do this one at $220 like it is, $245 with an ApostleP edge. The Malone Knife and Tool Nesmuk. That's going to bring us to the last knife in tonight's sale. And it's another one from Malone. Comes in the same big white box. You got stuff and a pamphlet and more stuff. Another Malone knife and tool blade that comes in a badger claw sheath. If you don't know, Malone does not ship sheaths with their knives. They do refer you to badger claw, and a badger claw sheath is going to run you about $100. Super high quality stuff. This is the Malone Tool and Trail Companion. Kind of a bushcrafter, a lot like a bushcrafter. Kind of a low saber ground blade in 01, 1/8 stock. This has got a little staining on it near the tip. And on the spine, it is 01. Blade length, 4 3/4. The handle, 4 1/2. Got a little Coke bottle going on. Very comfortable in the hand. Cocobolo with thick OD G10 liners. So it's like new in box, but it's got some staining, if that makes any sense. This knife was $275 new from the maker, plus $100 for the sheath. I'm sorry, it was $239 plus $100 for the sheath is $339. We're going to do this one at $185 like it is, $210 with an ApostleP edge. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the ApostleP channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.